A football, in its purest form, is a simple game. Two teams compete to move a ball into a designated area. This basic concept, it seems, has resonated with humanity for millennia. Evidence suggests that ancient cultures across the globe enjoyed their own versions of ball games. The Chinese game of cuju, dating back over 2,000 years, involved kicking a leather ball through a net. In Mesoamerica, the Mayans played a game known as Poca-Toc, where players used their hips and elbows to pass a heavy rubber ball. These ancient games, while different in their specific rules, shared a common thread: the thrill of competition and the joy of physical exertion. These early forms of football were more than just games. They were often imbued with ritualistic and symbolic meaning, reflecting the values and beliefs of the societies that played them. Cuju, for instance, was seen as a way to promote physical fitness and military prowess. Poca-Toc, on the other hand, held religious significance, with games often culminating in human sacrifices. While the modern game has shed these ancient rituals, it still retains a powerful hold on our collective imagination, uniting people across cultures and continents. The Middle Ages in Europe saw the emergence of mob football, a chaotic and often violent precursor to the modern game. Played across towns and villages, mob football involved two large teams with an almost unlimited number of players. The objective was simple: to force a ball to a designated point, often miles apart, by any means necessary. Matches were unruly affairs, with few rules and little regard for safety. Players could use their hands, feet, and any other body part to move the ball. Kicking, punching, tripping, and even carrying were all deemed acceptable tactics. Games often descended into brawls, causing injuries and property damage. Despite its chaotic nature, mob football served an important social function. It provided a release valve for pent-up energy and aggression, fostering a sense of community in an otherwise rigidly structured society. While lacking the finesse and tactical sophistication of later forms of football, mob football laid the groundwork for the game's evolution by establishing a basic framework of competition and physicality. The development of modern football can be traced back to the public schools of 19th century England. These institutions, attended by the sons of the elite, became fertile ground for codifying the chaotic game of mob football. Each school developed its own unique set of rules, leading to a wide variety of playing styles. Some schools, like rugby, favoured a game where carrying the ball was permitted, leading to the development of rugby football. Others, like Eton, preferred a game focused on kicking and dribbling, laying the foundation for what would become association football or soccer. These codified versions of football spread beyond the schoolyards, gaining popularity among the working class. The establishment of formal rules was a crucial step in the evolution of football. It transformed a chaotic free-for-all into a structured and organized sport. This period of experimentation and innovation laid the foundation for the global phenomenon that football would become. The need for a unified set of rules became increasingly apparent as football's popularity grew. In 1863, representatives from 12 London clubs and schools met at the Freemasons' Tavern. This historic meeting marked the birth of the Football Association, FA, the oldest governing body in the sport. The FA's initial rules established a framework for the game, outlining key aspects like the size of the pitch, the number of players, and the duration of matches. Crucially, the FA outlawed carrying the ball, distinguishing association football from rugby football. The establishment of the FA marked a turning point in football history. It provided a standardized set of rules, fostering consistency and fairness. This paved the way for the development of leagues, competitions, and ultimately the professionalization of the sport. Section 5. The spread of football, a global phenomenon. With a standardized set of rules in place, football spread rapidly throughout the late 19th and early 20th centuries. British sailors, traders, and soldiers introduced the game to ports and colonies around the world. Local populations embraced football, adapting it to their own cultures and traditions. Football clubs sprung up in South America, Africa, and Asia. International competitions like the Copa America, which started in 1916, and the African Cup of Nations, which began in 1957, emerged, showcasing the burgeoning talent beyond Europe. The global appeal of football can be attributed to its simplicity, its accessibility, and its capacity to transcend cultural barriers. It requires minimal equipment and can be played on any relatively flat surface, making it a truly universal sport. Section 6. The rise of professionalism, from gentlemen amateurs to paid players. In the early days, football was considered an amateur pursuit, played by gentlemen for the love of the game. However, as the sport's popularity grew, so too did the demand for skilled players. Clubs began to offer broken time payments to compensate players for lost wages, effectively blurring the lines between amateurism and professionalism. The FA initially resisted professionalism, fearing it would undermine the spirit of the game. However, the allure of financial gain proved too strong. In 1885, the FA reluctantly legalised professionalism, ushering in a new era for football. The advent of professionalism led to the formation of professional leagues, with England's Football League, founded in 1888, serving as the prototype. Players could now earn a living from playing football, attracting talented individuals from all walks of life. Section 7. International competitions, the birth of the World Cup. The desire to determine the best team in the world led to the creation of international competitions. The Olympic Games featured football as early as 1900, but it was the FIFA World Cup, first held in Uruguay in 1930, that captured the imagination of the global footballing community. The World Cup, held every 4 years, quickly became the pinnacle of international football. It provided a platform for the world's best players and teams to compete for the ultimate prize. Iconic moments like England's controversial victory on home soil in 1966 and Brazil's mesmerizing triumph in Mexico in 1970 cemented the tournament's legendary status. The World Cup transcends sport, becoming a global spectacle that unites people from all walks of life in a shared passion for the beautiful game. Section 8. Tactics, Technology and Globalization. Over the decades, football has evolved in response to changes in tactics, technology, and the ever-increasing globalization of the sport. Tactical innovations like the total football of the Dutch in the 1970s revolutionized the way the game was played. Advances in technology, from the introduction of goal line technology to the use of VR, have aimed to make the game fairer and more accurate. And as football has spread to every corner of the globe, it has brought together diverse cultures and styles of play, enriching the sport and making it truly universal. Section 9. Football's enduring appeal. Despite the many changes and challenges it has faced over the years, football's appeal remains as strong as ever. The passion, drama, and sense of community that the game inspires are unmatched. From local pitches to the grandest stadiums, football continues to captivate the hearts and minds of millions around the world. It is a sport that transcends boundaries, bringing people together in a shared love for the beautiful game. And as we look to the future, there's no doubt that football will continue to evolve, inspire, and unite us all.